everyone. So this little video is going to go over the event of the Great Fire of London. Now, if you're in year one, you have already studied this before, so this will be a nice little revision video. If you haven't heard of it before, you'll get to learn something new today. So let's start. Oh, it's not working. There we go. So, the Great Fire of London. It began in 1666 on a Sunday on the 2nd of September. Now, it started in a little bakery on Pudding Lane. The baker, who was called Thomas Fariner, he was making bread, and unfortunately he forgot about the bread and he left the fire on, and that's when his little bakery shop set alight into flames. On that Sunday evening, the fire had got out of control. It quickly spread to nearby buildings. The buildings in London at that time were made out of wood, and they were also built very close together, which meant that the fire could easily spread from one building to the next. Sadly, there were no firefighters in 1666. Which meant that citizens decided to put the fire out themselves using leather buckets and water from the River Thames. This didn't work very well. Eventually, people began to run from the fire and take their family and belongings onto the boat, onto the river, to go live somewhere else. The fire would continue to spread on Monday and Tuesday. It was on Wednesday the Duke of York, who later became King James II, he ordered that houses would be destroyed using gunpowder ahead of the fire to stop the fire from spreading even further. This plan worked, and by Thursday the fire had been extinguished. So that means the fire stopped. This disaster made London a much safer and a better city. Streets were widened and buildings were made out of stronger and more fireproof materials such as brick instead of wood. A lot of rats carrying the plague at that time were killed off. Now, if you're wondering what the Black Plague is, it was a disease that would often kill people. Now, because these rats died, most of the rats died in the fire, it meant that less people caught the disease. So, there's a nice little monument in London. It looks a little bit like this. That's in London, and it's there to remind everyone of what happened in London in 1666. You can learn a lot about this story, about how important it is to keep safe if there is a small fire, because a small fire within minutes can spread and be very dangerous. So you should always make sure that you have a fire escape planned wherever you go, whether that's at home, in a school, when you go to like shops or special buildings, they will always have a fire escape. Just in case something bad happens, you know where to go and what to do. So remember, if a fire starts, stay calm and make sure you leave immediately. And if you are in a public place, they will often tell you where to go. So a few activities. You can create your own newspaper report, reporting the details of what happened. You could create a diary entry as a citizen of London at that time. You could write about how you felt when your house was on fire, how you tried to stop the fire with your buckets and it didn't work. So you could write a diary entry, or you could create an art piece. And there's lovely art pieces, especially if you're in year one. I know that when you were with Mrs. Jo, how you made lovely art pieces. Maybe you could try and make your a different version at home. If you're not sure what to do, you could have a look on Google. There's lovely art pieces made with like tissue paper or scrap paper of orange, where they made a little a fire image using different shades of orange from like catalogues and leaflets that come through the door. So have a look, see if you want to create an art piece. You can also create an acrostic poem, so you can use the letters for the Great Fire of London to create your own little short poem based on the Great Fire of London. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I will continue to upload some more soon, and I will speak to you later. Have a lovely week. See you later. Bye.